everyone. Here tonight with episode 7 of Sex Life. The series on Netflix is a really good series. If you did not get an opportunity to watch it, I highly recommend it. It goes through so many ups and downs, highs and lows, talking about relationships between two friends, between couples, and we're on episode 7 tonight. It's titled Small Town Saturday Night. I'm going to bring in Chef Kev. Is going to join me. We've been breaking this down together. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
All right. So we're on episode 7, and a lot happened in this particular episode. So, like I said, it's titled Small Town. Are you still having trouble hearing me?
Try and check your mic volume.
All right, let me go back. Mm, it's up. Can you hear me now?
What number is it on?
Let me see. I'm not seeing. All right, how's it now?
There you go.
Yeah, but that's funny. That's with the echo in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see something. I don't know. I think the echo is bad, Kev. Like when it's the echo,
hmm
is it still echoing?
I don't have an echo.
All right, we'll roll with it. But hopefully if that stopped then and you can hear me. But anyway, so this episode is called Small Town Saturday Night. I'm still hearing the echo. And see, it's funny when I cancel the echo, you can't hear me for some reason, which is so weird. Like if I go to the settings and I cancel the echo,
Good.
okay, how about now?
Yeah.
That's so
It says
weird. Why
automatic.
does that
You have
happen?
automatic volume.
Yeah, and it's loud.
It's on the automatic volume.
Um, how do you hear me now?
Did you can't hear you? Uncheck automatic volume.
I did.
I don't know what it is.
Um,
Maybe because you don't have an external microphone like me.
so you don't hear me.
Barely.
Okay. Uh, you hear me now.
Yeah. I
That's
didn't check.
the bad.
Yeah. I didn't check
The
to get
bad.
this to work.
All right. The bad part is you hear me, but there's an echo. So I'm gonna have to do something different for tomorrow. I'll let it go because that's the only way you're gonna hear me. But I'm gonna have to try to do something different for tomorrow. All right. So let's get into this. Small town Saturday night. Um, it starts off with Cooper slept on the couch from the night before. And Billy comes down to try to talk to him, but he's still pissed because he knows that Billy was out doing whatever it is she was doing. And he also knows that she lied. She really did not have dinner with the doctor. So, they kind of talk about that. Tonight is when they go to the sex party with the couple that's their friends. Not only are they friends, I have so many problems with this because not only are they friends, but he works with him and their neighbors. But we'll get into that. She reminisced, and this is the episode where Brad kicked her out of their house when they was living together. They also dealt with the pregnancy between her and Brad, which I really still feel Cooper knows nothing about that. But I guess we'll see what happens with that. Um, Oh, they also show Brad, which Brad is just so incredibly messy. They go back and reminisce. She reminisced to a scene where her and Brad went to her cousin's wedding, and the mom was being messy with her mouth. Her mom, Billy's mom, was being messy with her mouth, but Brad, this just shows so much how Brad did so much to her and she just forgave and forgave, because in this episode, when they was at the cousin's wedding, Brad is making out with someone at, the help at the wedding. Like, he's so messy. But they showed us that scene, I really believe, so they could give us the backstory as to why it was so important for her to know, why he changed and that he actually talked to his father, because she is the one that encouraged him to try to mend and fix his relationship with his father, because she felt like, he was so messed up because of this broken relationship between him and his father. So and then again, as I stated before, Billy confuses Cooper because she goes in and out of what she want and does not want. And I read something. This I read that I did not catch while watching this series. Brad got those tattoos of the two bees like near his groin area. And when he got it, he said, "This is up." I just thought that he simply meant the two B's represented them. But when I read this article about the whole series, the two B's, because his name is Brad and her name is Billy, and both of their names start with the letter B, and that is why he got the B tattoos. So again, like I said before, whoever wrote this series did an amazing job. But we'll get into it, and I guess let's start off with I guess we could start off with, well, you know what? Let's start off with the sex party. So it shows Trina and her husband, is his name Devin? Francis is so good with remember all the names, but
Devin.
Trina, Devin. Trina and her husband Devin. Well, really, Trina told Billy. She said to Billy, are you ready to fix your marriage, kind of spice it up and get things going? And she said, if so, I got a surprise for you. So they didn't know where they was going. So I got a problem with that. But they bring them to this sex party. So you tell me your thoughts on that.
Well, the first situation you brought up, that's a situation you don't bring someone into surprisingly. You want to let them know, okay, you're coming into it. That's a very very different environment. Just looking at it, people walking around naked, people vulnerable. That's just not an environment you just randomly bring somebody into. So I have a problem with that. So she should have said something with that. Cooper, for all my Cooper fans, you know, Cooper gets an F. The whole party, Cooper gets an F. He was willing to go, they got there, and he got aroused. It was turning him on. Okay, fine. There's a word I'm going to use when it comes to marriage and relationships, especially with men. The word is provide. A lot of times we think of it on the financial side of it, but there's other ways to provide. And one of those provisions is security and safety and comfort. Your wife is uncomfortable. Your wife doesn't feel right in the situation, but it's all about how you feel. She's telling you no. So I did my homework. I Googled a few things, a few swingers clubs, swinger parties. A lot of them on the West Coast and the South because that's what's open right now. They all have the same. In the top three rules is all the same. No means no. Your wife is saying no. She doesn't want to be there. You stop. You stop. You go home. This is your wife. Then Trina messy behind gets in the middle. She doesn't ask permission from his wife. Can she do something? His wife is in shock. She's almost in tears. And all Brad could think about is a journal that he read and thinks about Billy having sex with Brad. And he looks at Trina and says, do it. And Trina goes down on him. again, 3 minutes later, sad, but 3 minutes later, after he gets his, Billy's crying, runs out, and Devin grabs her, and Devin's trying to get with Billy, and Brad gets mad at Devin. Devin makes the comment, Are you upset?" Because first he said, your wife is fair game because your penis was in my wife's mouth. So he said, "Are you mad that I'm gonna be the next guy in her journal?" And then he strikes him. He hits Devin, but in my mind, he was swinging at Brad. He hits Devin, but he was swinging at Brad.
Well,
And
let me jump in. Let me jump in really quickly. I follow what you're saying, and I agree with the part of your wife's uncomfortable. It's time to go because y'all two came together. First of all, I'll back up and say this. Um, Trina, there's a lot of opportunists in this series.
Mhm.
Trina and her husband are definitely a pair opportunists, right? You know that they're not in a good space right now as a couple. If you are going to invite a couple, it should be a couple that is in a good space, not a couple who is in marital trouble, right? So you took this opportunity. You know they're weak right now. You know their marriage is in trouble, and you really think this is going to save their marriage? So Trina wanted him from the moment she probably laid eyes on him, and her husband wanted Billy. So they took this opportunity where they're weak as a couple to bring them into this particular environment. Then you don't even tell them where they're coming to. So now they're kind of there and they're stuck and they're confused. But like you said, okay, he's human. He was walking around and he was getting into it and getting aroused. But here's the other problem too with Billy. I keep telling you, she sends her husband mixed messages. You want to tell him, oh, I don't want you to be that person in the that I'm writing about. This is not us. I don't want that life anymore. But yet, every time you speak to Sasha and everybody else, that's the life you claim you want and that you're missing. So which one is it? And as way before this party, every time your husband tried to do something that was in that diary, you encouraged it. So it's like you sending this man mixed messages. He's trying to save his marriage. So he's thinking, okay, you want this life, you want these things. I'm going to try to be that. So now he goes to this party, he gets into it, and he starts, getting into it with her. And yes, she said no, and she said stop, and she couldn't take people watching her. But wait, let me just say this. But what's funny to me is, remember that time when her and Brad were doing it in the car? And he tried to cover her up. He was like, they can see you. She said,
no,
I don't care. She said, I
no,
don't
no,
care.
no. She tried to cover up, and he said, "Let him watch."
No, you got to go back and watch it.
No,
Nope, nope. You got to go back and watch it. Brad said, they can see you. And she said, I don't care. And he tried to cover her. She said, I don't care. Let them watch. So my thing is, you were willing to let people see you when you was with Brad. That's why I'm saying Cooper's right. If it was Brad, she would have went for more. You was willing to let them see you when you was Brad because you was all into it and you was getting it in. But now it's your husband and you all shy and it's not you and you got to get out of here. Go back and watch that episode, Kevin. I don't see the problem is because those pieces of her and Brad life that she reminisces to. I don't remember exactly what episode it was, but at the very least, we know it was in episode 6. And
yeah.
I don't think it was episode 5. So maybe you have to look between 1 and 4. But clearly, she said in that car, I don't care. She moved his hand and said, let them see. So my thing is, let them see when you were Brad, but now with your husband, you got issues. But I got more issues about that party. Hey, Sassy, I got more issues about that party, but I'll let you continue. Go ahead with your thought.
Okay, so now this party is debacle. Of course, the fight breaks out. Like I said, I felt he was punching Brad. That's where his anger came out. He has no one to blame but himself. Um, like I said, that's a tough situation. Uh, I didn't like the fact that when your wife tells you she's uncomfortable, you stop. That's just the
Well,
bottom
yeah, no,
line.
I get that.
And
He should have stopped. But let me say this. So so Trina, messy Trina, messy Trina, she sees that Billy, this is not for her. If that was truly your friend and you was truly trying to help their relationship and you loved her, you would have been like, you know what, Billy, let me get your coat, take your husband, y'all go. This is not for y'all. But instead, she tells Billy, I got this. She said, trust me. Trust you? And she does what she does to Cooper. Now, I will say this, you know I'm a Cooper fan, but Cooper pissed me off. I didn't realize it until I watched it again. I was like, I didn't realize that Cooper told Trina to go ahead and do it. But
yeah,
again, his problem is that he keeps going back and forth in his head, reminiscing about what he read in his diary. So Trina does it. Billy's watching. Billy's getting emotional. Billy's getting pissed, right? So now, after Trina finished, and he's running after Billy, and he catch Devin, trying to hit on Billy. One, he punched Devin in the throat too, because he said, because when he said your wife is fair game, he said Billy is not Trina. So you, in other words, saying your wife is a hoe. My Billy is not like that. So don't be touching on Billy. That's what he said. He said Billy is not Trina. So then, yes, I think that fight that he had with him, it was a mixture of both. He was definitely mad at Devin, and maybe Devin got extra punches because of Brad. But some of those punches was straight for Devin. Cause one, Devin gonna say, you think you mad because I might be the next person that she's writing about. As your friend, I'm your friend, and you tell me something. The worst person in the world is when you tell them something, and then the minute you have an argument with them, they want to bring it up and throw it in your face. So he's throwing the private conversation, like I told you what was going on between me and my wife. Now we here at this party and we fighting with each other, and that's the first thing you gonna throw up and say, oh, you want I'm gonna be the next person in her diary. So yeah, Devin got what he got. I'm not saying it was right, but he deserved it because him and his wife was plotting on them as a couple from day one. My opinion. Go ahead, Kevin.
opinion second, but
Yep, and
the
thank you,
the
thank you, thank you. Here we go again. Here we go again. She got it down pat. She said Billy was the one that said let them watch. Diva is correct. Yeah, she
okay,
said let them watch.
okay,
And
but
now you in the sex party, you all shy. You like I can't do this. Go ahead, Kevin.
but let's go back to when she said this is not you. She said to him, "This is not you." He keeps trying to drive the car in Brad's lane, and that's not him. So the like I, you know what you got. She knows what she got with Cooper. Cooper's trying to beat Brad. It's not him. She doesn't want a Cooper Brad. It's either she wants Brad or she doesn't. Well,
Thank
I
you.
mean, either
Here
she
we
wants
go
Cooper or she
again.
doesn't. Um,
She said Cooper's trying to be Brad like for Billy.
yeah. But the bottom line is that the thing is that she knows, like she said, Cooper, this is not you. Like I said, my thing is he should have just left because his wife was uncomfortable. But in his mind, she cheated because of all the things he wrote it, and this was revenge. Cooper is telling her to do it with because when he started to think about all that stuff, that's when he said he looked at her. This was revenge. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, that second was revenge. I mean,
Yeah, that
when
was
he, but
that was
yeah, but
revenge.
but but Trina didn't help. Trina said to him, "We all gotta have dreams, right?" She said, "We all gotta have fantasies." And then that's when he said, "Yeah." I mean, Cooper is in a bad spot. He's weak. A no on Devin's part. Yeah, it was a no on Devin's part. Devin crossed the line, and that's supposed to be your boy or whatever. And then you're gonna say that. And to me, I don't know nothing about no swingers life or anything like that. But to me, as a swinger, you want a couple or you want somebody who's going to be comfortable and into what you're into. And if they were truly your friends, the moment you brought her there by surprise, because they had no idea what they was walking into, moment you saw they were really not uncomfortable or Billy was uncomfortable, you say, you know what, guys, this wasn't for you. We tried it. Let me walk you out of here. Let me get y'all to the door.
But like I said, they should have never even like I said, you need to tell people up front. And when a situation like that, this ain't a surprise party. Okay,
Right.
you taking somebody to a very, very difficult situation. They're with their mate.
A
I mean,
sensitive situation.
sensitive.
In a
Yeah,
situation that you have to be into that type of lifestyle in order to go. Like, why would you bring someone there that you wasn't sure that they would be comfortable or even open to something like this? So the minute she told Billy at Billy's house when they came over to congratulate Cooper on being partner, she should have said, I have an idea. This is what me and my husband do. Not sure if you want to even try it, see it, or come with us, just to be a part of it. But she should have told her more. Yes,
she should
Devin
have.
and Trina had their own motives from the jump. They each wanted Billy and Cooper. Yes, I totally agree with you. Here we go again. They did. They
And
had their own ulterior motive.
yeah,
So they
I'm not,
could
I'm not
care.
saying didn't, but
Yeah.
it just made a bad situation worse. And then to go back to episode 5, because you gave her a ride home, you know where she lived. Brad shows up to the house.
Well,
Why are you here?
before we even get to that part, because that was towards the end. I mean, to close out with the sex party again, Cooper is battling in his mind. He's going between here and there. He doesn't know what to do. But the bottom line is, every word out of Cooper's mouth is he wants to save his marriage. And I don't know if you caught this in this episode, Kevin. I was thinking about you as I was watching it over again, where he said, you always leaving the kids. You claim and you will go down in history and swear that Billy will not leave them kids. Cooper said you always leaving the kids. You say you love us. You say you want this family. You pretty much, and I'm paraphrasing, running the streets and always ready to leave the kids. So for sure, Kevin, yeah. So for sure, Kevin, she was straight leave them kids in a hot minute because she been doing it on. And then he also said to her, "You think baking a cake?" So she never even found out that he got partner from him. She
Trina.
found out from Trina.
Hmm.
So she want to bake a cake, okay, and she thinks that's going to make everything okay. But again, Kevin, see, she plays mind games with Cooper. She every time she gets into a bad corner, she's like, I want you, I want this marriage, I want to make it work. I wanted to work. Because remember, she wanted to go with him to Hudson's game. And he was like, no, I don't feel like playing like this family nonsense today. And again, I'm paraphrasing. She's like, I'm not beat for that today. So you go do what you do and I'm gonna do what I do. Stay with the baby and I'm gonna take him to the game.
But see, that's where the narcissism comes in. He's controlling the fact that she can't go see her own son play soccer. Then when they try to play it off in the backyard and she smiles and he just looks at her and drinks the beer. Okay. Then when he gets to the party and when he realizes she doesn't want to do this, but he's turned on, He don't care what she feels at that point. It's about him and his feelings. It's about him. It's about him. Cause she's saying, I don't want to do this, baby. Let's go home. Baby, this is not you. Then he snaps in and he brings up Brad. He's look, the bottom line is
Thank you, girlfriend. Are you just trying to not like Cooper? First of all,
I
Kev,
like
let me.
Cooper. I actually rooted for Cooper. Like I said, I'm rooting for them to stay together. But the thing is that I am, like I said, I am very, 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 very uh cautious of providing security for my lady, of being safe
Kevin,
and
he
comfortable.
walked in
No,
there.
if
And
you
no,
uncomfortable somewhere, it's time to go.
yes, it is time to go, but let me say this. He was having a conversation with her because, again, she's giving him mixed messages. When she first walked in with him and she was seeing him, they both was like, oh my God, are we doing this? And then she was like, when he was watching the ladies, she was like, oh, so you're in. She said, I see you into this. I mean, she never said I wanted to go then. When he started kissing her, at first, she was into it. She only realized when she opened her eyes and she saw everybody was staring at her. That's when she was like, let's continue this at home. And yes, I agree with you. Should she, should he have been like, okay, right then, let's stop and go home? But he said, I don't know if you remember or you heard it. He said, I can't. I don't think I'm going to make it until we get home. In other words, I do. I need to get mine right now. I'm not saying he was right, wrong, or indifferent, but that's what he said to her. But she claimed, and her only reason for wanting to stop, Kevin, is because everybody was watching her. And in my mind, I'm not saying she should have been at this party, not left or whatever. But in my mind, I'm like, girl, 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 when you was in the car outside, because cars are outside, right? With your man Brad, you didn't care who saw you, who was looking, who was watching. But now with your husband is the problem. And that's when Cooper said to her, he was like, yeah, but if this was Brad, you would have been able to do it, right? And then that's when she wanted to say, well, we're not Brad. I don't want you to do this. This is us. We're married. You're my husband. I don't see you this way. I don't want that. If you didn't want it, the minute he started trying to do all those things that's in the diary, you should have said, I don't want this. I want you to be you. But no, when he was trying to do that position that she read about that Brad did, she was like, to the right, left, hold up, push it this way, move that way. So if you don't want him to be Brad, tell him that from the beginning. Don't send him mixed messages and confuse him and then expect him to know what to do, when, where, why, how. She's giving him mixed messages. Go ahead, Kevin, your thought.
Well, she's been giving mixed. Both of them been giving mixed messages from the beginning.
No, look what here we go again said. It's all about Billy for Cooper. Yes, it is.
They all been
Yes, it
giving
is.
mixed. They've been giving mixed messages. Um, Cooper has been. They both been doing this, the most. But you're right. She's been giving mixed messages. You're right. I'm just talking about in particular at their party. I still say that Cooper is the man. He should have took his wife out of that party. And then like I said, when he hit Devin, because Devin made the comment about, it was a wrong comment, but because it was a comment about the journal, it wasn't like he said it loud where everybody could hear it. He was
Kevin,
talking.
so somebody could disrespect you. Somebody could disrespect you, and just because nobody else heard it, you good?
Didn't Trina disrespect your wife?
Wait, say that again?
Didn't Trina just disrespect your wife?
He gonna hit a lady, Kevin?
No, I ain't say hit her, but didn't Trina just disrespect your wife and you allowed it? Because you
He
said
told
it
her
was.
to do it though.
He just disrespected his wife. His wife didn't want that. He could
I
see his
don't.
wife
I'm
crying.
missing
He
your point.
disrespected his wife.
But I'm
He
missing your
just,
point.
huh?
I'm missing your point.
What I'm saying is, you're saying that Devin disrespected Cooper, right? Okay, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's right. But just before Devin disrespected Cooper, Trina disrespected his wife and he allowed it.
I'm still missing your point.
What I'm saying is he goes and he hits Cooper, like I said, because he was thinking about Brad. But you brought up the disrespect. He disrespected him. So his wife was disrespected. She didn't throw a. She didn't throw a punch. I'm not.
That's
Listen
that's
to
that's why I'm confused. Here we go again. I don't know what Cat's saying.
me. No, you listen to me. You're saying okay. Devin disrespected Cooper, right? Trina disrespected his wife, and he allowed it. That's how we got there. When he said, "Do it," it was okay for him to get his. His wife wouldn't. He's saying let her go because she wants to leave, right? She wanted to leave before then. So Cooper's disrespecting his wife too. Here we go again. Go ahead with that. I need Francis because that's the only one. He disrespected his wife. Bottom
No, but
line.
okay, but
Thank you.
Francis.
Thank you.
Wait, you saying thank you, Kevin, but how is this to your point? All Francis is saying is that they should have introduced the rules. So yes, Trina and Deborah was dead wrong for walking them into a situation that they knew nothing about. Okay, so that's where all of this confusion came in because you're bringing me into a party that has rules. All she said to them at the beginning when they walked in, she said y'all can look. Y'all can touch, y'all can do whatever you want. But there's more rules to that game. There's more rules to that world. And what she should have did was way before they brought them there, say, look, this is what we do. This is the lifestyle we're into. We want to bring you to a party. If you come to a party and this happens, then that's happened, and everybody is fair game. That's what she should have said, but she didn't. So that's why the whole thing went on. But like I said, Cooper said it straight up. He felt a certain kind of way about Trina. That's why he told Devin straight up, listen, my wife ain't Trina. Because Devin was like, well, you just had my wife, so I could touch yours. And he's like, yo, my wife ain't Trina, so you need to back off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how you saying Trina disrespected Billy? I mean, Cooper told her to go ahead and do it.
Okay, from what I know, the single world, it's couples giving other couples permission. So
And Cooper did not give Devin permission. He said, don't touch
no,
her.
no. Okay, let me because I saw this on. I saw this on what's that HBO show, Sex World or Sex Life, whatever it was, back in the day. Okay,
Thank you. Here we go again.
here we go again. Is your fan club, whatever. In those swinger parties,
She knows the fact. Don't be mad at her. She knows
man.
the fact and she paid attention to the episode.
But what I'm saying to you is, in those parties, you give the woman permission, and the man will give the man permission. Yeah, you can touch my wife. You can touch my husband. You don't touch nobody without permission. Real sex. That was the show. So my thing is, his wife did not give her permission to go down on her husband. She broke a rule. Okay, and he
But she broke
allowed
a
it to
rule she
happen.
didn't know about. She broke a
Okay,
rule she didn't know about.
no, Trina
It,
knew about the rule. Trina broke the rule.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Trina's
But
supposed to get permission from Billy to touch Brad, just like
well,
Devin's
too
supposed to
bad,
get.
Brad. Well, too bad,
I mean
Brad
Cooper,
got
not Brad. Cooper to touch Cooper. I'm
too
sorry.
bad. Cooper got Trina got permission from Cooper.
That's not how it works.
Well, I don't care how it works. I'm telling you, he gave her permission, so she went ahead and did it.
Mm-hmm.
It's his body, and she went ahead and did it. She's talking about his narcissist at his best. You better leave Cooper alone. You better
Thank
leave
you,
Cooper alone,
thank you,
Francis.
thank you, thank you. Get your behind on this part. Anyway, so I'm
Well,
telling you,
Lakia says he knew his wife didn't want that. Right,
yes,
exactly. So I'm taking it as you're saying, Latia, I hope I'm saying your name right. Um, I'm taking it as you're saying that Cooper knew that Billy didn't want Devin to touch her.
No, he didn't
100%.
want his Billy knew that Billy didn't want Trina to touch him.
Oh, well, well, let me say this. I said this yesterday, Kevin. Cheating starts with sneaky conversation. So,
Billy
Billy
already
been
cheated,
cheating. There you go.
and that's what he
And I'm
saw.
not saying two wrongs make a right. I'm not saying two wrongs make
But
a
he was
right.
damn sure
But
trying to make it even. He
yeah.
was being vengeful. He was being vengeful.
Oh shoot. Here we go again. That's why I like you, girlfriend. She said Billy did indeed give her permission by deferring to Cooper. She pretty much looked at Cooper like it's up to you. It's up to you.
Whatever.
Somebody agrees with you, Kevin. There you
Y'all
go,
Cooper,
Kevin. You happy? No,
y'all
Kevin,
Cooper
you
fans,
happy?
y'all Cooper fans. You put the Cooper jersey on with the number on the back, with the name on the back. Y'all for the Cooper fan club with your pom poms and whatever. But there's something I wanted to touch on. The one common sense line in this whole thing was by Sasha. When Sasha says, "You need to fight for your marriage because he's been fighting this whole time." And she,
Hello. That's what me
well,
and here we go again trying to tell you.
can I finish? Can I finish?
Yes, finish.
And she says, "Seek counseling."
Mm-hmm.
No one tells them to seek counseling. And Billy needs two counseling. She needs counseling for the marriage, and she needs counseling for herself.
Yes, I'll take a medium, please.
Oh yeah, get on my nerves. But I'm saying is that that's the one common sense line
It
that she
was.
has. And she says, y'all need counseling. Like y'all need to find a counselor. But for whatever
Let me say
reason,
this, Kevin. Sasha is definitely a true friend. Now, this is what I do like about this series. Their friendship is unbreakable. Unbreakable. And when you have a friend like that, hold tight because I just love their friendship. Nothing's going to break them up. I've seen females friendship in over less. There would have been females that would have never spoke to Sasha again, even though they married, because Sasha was with Brad. But that didn't break their friendship. And Shasta loves her to no end. And what I didn't realize, I realized it watching it the second time, and we'll move on to the next topic. I did not realize that Brad went to Sasha. He is so, oh my God, he is so
mhm.
arrogant that he went to Sasha to tell Sasha to help me get Billy back. I didn't realize that. I guess I was half asleep when I was watching it the first time. I didn't realize he said that. I said, yo, Brad is out of control.
he he sees, like I said, like the vultures, like Francesca, he sees an opportunity.
It's
Um,
more than an opportunity for him, Kevin. It,
but
it's a
remember he
missed
said, because remember he
opportunity.
made the comment. He made the comment. He said, "I didn't." He says she hasn't heard. He said she ain't hear from him in 10 years, and he said, "I didn't know she was an option." Remember he made it. He said, "I didn't know she was an option," and so he saw the opportunity. Okay, she's unhappily married, and I want her back, and so he's trying to get her back. To me, you should just leave that alone. But he's being messy. Um,
It's
and
more than that. But let me
also
say this.
too,
Go
what
ahead.
is the old saying? Somebody don't want you till somebody else wants you.
But that's not their story. That's not their
But
story.
no,
So,
but
but
I'm
wait.
saying you're right. But my whole thing is this: her number is still in your phone. You didn't call in 10 years.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll get into that. But 1 second. So I do like what Here We Go Again says. She said, I like their friendship too, but I'm still in my feelings about Sasha hooking up with Brad, knowing that that was Billy's one. I do agree with you on that. Brad wasn't just anybody to Billy. He was the one. So I do have, yeah, she broke girl code. She broke girl, she did break girl code with that. And I did speak in some of the other episodes about that. I think Sasha shouldn't have went there no matter how good the sex was. But in this episode too, it shows you when Brad was trying to produce that girl that was singing. So it appears that everyone in town knows that Brad knows how to do what he does. Because when he went in to produce that girl's song, she was coming on to him indirectly the whole time. And at the end, she just laid it on the line. Like, I want you, I got a flight that's leaving. Come to my house. The flight leaves at XYZ time. So everyone knew about Brad and everybody wants a piece of Brad, okay? Because they want that high and that feeling that they've been hearing about. But to get back to you saying Brad is an opportunist, no, Brad and Billy, this is what they want to come across in this series, and it has come across to me. That Brad and Billy have this unbelievable connection. They have a situation that usually in real life may come once in a lifetime for people. Some people are fortunate that they marry that person and they're together forever. A lot of people, that person is like Billy. There's someone, they're a memory that they have, and they married someone else. So Brad is that person where he touched her mentally, he touched her physically. The connection was so deep that Brad could probably have stabbed her and she still would have forgave him. At that darn cousin's wedding, your man is hooking up with somebody else at your cousin's wedding. You're ready to leave him yet again. He says two freaking words to you and he reels you back in and he sheds some tears, and now you want to help him find his father so he can fix his relationship with the father so he could be a better person to you in himself. So Brad will always have control over her. And you're saying, oh, because he didn't call her. Kevin, there has been people that haven't spoken to someone in years, and the minute they speak to them, see them, or whatever, they just reconnect as if they never were apart. So I don't think it's just about an opportunity for Brad, because he really doesn't have an opportunity. This chick is married. So he's just pushing his way in because that's who Brad is. And he gonna tell Sasha, I messed up, help me get her back. But go ahead.
Well,
Billy is Brad's lobster.
you know what? The thing is, and what gets me is that they when they do the reminiscing,
Mm-hmm.
he tries to push her out, and she knows what he's doing when he's at the wedding. She says, "You're doing this on purpose because you're trying to find a reason to break up with me." Okay, so he turns around, he goes to see his father, which he's not ready to do at that time. So he literally packs up all her stuff and throws her out the house in a very, very disrespectful way. Ain't a nice way you can throw somebody out. I guess maybe there is, but he just does. He packs her stuff and throws it in the elevator until I get the f out of his house. And for the life of me, I don't care what connection you got. That right there would have broke that connection because I never would have forgot that. Like I said, you remember the good times, you never forget the bad. That right there would have been a deal breaker for me. But apparently, she's able to overlook that because the sex was so good. But
It's not the connection.
but the connection, I should say, was so good that she just overlooked that. But um, it's the center part of this situation to me is just like that dinner was the center part of episode 5. The center part of episode 7 was that damn swinger party. They never should have been there. They should have left. Cooper never should have gave Trina permission. Trina should never went down on him. It's so many. It was just like when Francis said about that dinner. The minute she saw how Brad looked at him, dinner would have never happened. The minute I knew my wife was uncomfortable, that situation would have never happened. We'd have been gone. And
Right.
that's what should have happened.
Yes. I for the stuff, the way he threw out everything with Billy and Brad happens with a high level of passion. Whether it's something good happening with them or whether it's something bad happening with them. But the packing, first of all, her bags were already packed when she walked through the door. Okay, so he was just he. So my thing is, he's just mean as I don't know what, because really, since he already had the bags packed, they could have been on the elevator downstairs outside the door. So when she came, like it wouldn't have been all this drama to begin with. But he lets her come up in there. The bags are sitting right there. She sees them. Okay. She sees them. And then he just dramatic drama, just throwing them all on the elevator. Like, get out. And then he said, he did the ultimate. He said, I don't love you and I never loved you. So, but again, you know what that was really about? When he, and maybe they'll show us in season 2, when he went to go see his father, I wonder if he actually saw the father and it didn't work out well. So he was pissed because Billy is the one that encouraged him to go in the first place. But that scene was more about the fact of he didn't connect with his father. It wasn't this happily ever after. So now when he got back, he's pissed because Billy is the one that encouraged him to go. He's pissed because he has this strained relationship with his father. And every time he gets pissed or something happens, he took it out on her over and over again. So she took the beating yet
Billy
again.
his punching bag. Billy was his punching bag.
Yes.
Verbally. Billy was his punching bag. And Sasha was calling it. Sasha was calling it out the whole time. Like, because we came by the house, she said, "This is who you are." She said, "That guy," he said, "I've changed." She said, "People like you don't change." Okay?
Yeah, he
This
put it
is
in garbage bags. He put it
yeah.
in garbage bags.
So like you put her out on the street, you threw her out
And
you
then threw her jacket at her.
yeah. And this the fool you can't get over?
Yeah,
And this the fool you can't get over?
yeah.
Man,
But
please.
also in this episode, if she could not get over nothing, also in this episode, remember they dealt with the fact that she lost the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and which again, I'm saying in my mind, Cooper doesn't even know that piece of it. And I think when Cooper finds that out, but I'm guessing he may find that piece out in season 2. When he finds that out, I think he's gonna really lose his stuff. Okay. Because that's
But
something major that she didn't tell him. I mean, first of all, she didn't tell him a lot, but that piece is major to
well,
not
I'm
tell your
sure
husband that.
now you're the one that says is, "Are you supposed to know everything?" So if we getting married, I'm supposed to know you had a miscarriage 17 years ago.
Oh yeah, that I would tell.
Because my
For
whole deal
sure.
is okay.
For
My whole
sure.
deal is
And wait, and the reason why I'm saying for sure is because especially if we're trying to get pregnant and maybe I'm having trouble. And the first thing when you go to OBGYN and you go to these specialists, they ask you that. Were you ever pregnant before? Did you have a miscarriage? So forth and so on. So yeah, my husband's not gonna find that out for the first time when we're at the doctor's office. That's something I would tell. There's things in your relationship, and we're going to wrap this up on Thursday and just talk generic about relationship. But there's things in your relationship that you must tell, and there's other things that you can decide on an as-need basis if you're going to tell or not, because it's your business. It's between you and God. So there's some things that will be on an as-need basis, and there's other things that is you must tell this piece of information. It's a necessity, but you don't have to tell everything. Okay,
I'm
at
not
all.
saying you do. I'm just trying to figure out what you feel she needed. Because to me, when she said in that drink and that when he's having drinks, and she said, "Oh, there was some guy named Brad, but that's over." That's all she ever said about Brad. So she didn't talk about the sex. She didn't talk about none of the other stuff. So I'm damn sure she didn't say nothing about the baby. I'm
I know
almost
she did,
yeah.
but here's the thing. I will say this, right? In relationships, it's like sometimes you don't know when to tell what, even if you are going to tell it, right? There's like you're not going to be on the first date. Oh well, yeah. I had 5 exes. The one I love the most was Brad. We had sex all the time in the car, in the restaurant, at the club. Wherever. You're not going to do all of that. So it's like it's a matter of not only what do you tell, but at what time frame do you tell it? Do you tell it second day? Do you tell it third day? Do you tell it the fifth day? Or do you tell it like you said right before you say I do? When do you tell?
Well, one thing I would say
Mm-hmm.
about if you go back when they was in the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
and Cooper says, "I didn't have that life. I didn't have that wild life. I never had that experience."
Mm-hmm.
And she made a comment that women are taught a certain way. You're taught not to
Mm-hmm.
reveal certain things because men look at you differently. You know, you had because I was
True.
taught that like I was told there are girls you have fun with and there are girls you marry, and you don't marry the fun girl. I beg to differ because why not have fun while you're married? That's just me. But um, that's how that went down, and I think that Brad Cooper is so much in his mind trying to keep up with not just Brad, he's trying to keep up with Billy. And I think that's where the problem comes. This is where that conversation in the backyard really shows that conversation should have been in front of a counselor on a couch somewhere. When he was expressing himself and he said just how Brad made you feel, just how Francesca made me feel, and I thought you wanted this, the house, and in a narcissistic way, I bought this house, I got this, and and add a wife and stir, and I thought this is what you wanted. You know, um, this was his dream. He bought that house, and his dream was to put a wife in there, have some kids, and he had his thing going a certain way. So,
Oh wait, Kevin, you got a fan? You got a
I got a
fan?
couple of
Oh, you said why not marry someone you have fun with? I do agree with that. Why not marry somebody you have fun with? But let me say this, right? Every conversation, they do need counseling, but Billy needs her own counseling, first
oh
of all,
yeah, most definitely.
with a reputable counselor, okay? Not her friends that she know that work in the university or whatever. But let me say this to you. Did that conversation have to happen in front of a counselor that they had in the backyard? No, they're capable, they're adults. They need counseling for other reasons so that they can stay in constant communication and not just communicate when they're having troubles and bad times. That night he just slept on the couch and she wasn't speaking to him. And then when he came home from the
He wasn't
game,
speaking to
she
her.
made yeah, well, whatever. But when he came home from the game, she wanted to make a cake talking about congratulations on, you making partner. So their communication always happens because they're at a very tense moment. So no, they need counseling so they can learn how to constantly talk to each other. But that conversation in the backyard, that conversation actually was fine because they was both expressing to each other, this is what I thought. This is what I thought. This is what I need. This is what I need, or whatever the case may be. And
But
in the part of that conversation, wait, let me say this. Part of that conversation, she asked about, can you have it all with one man? And he said, yeah, we can. Let's try. So again, after that is when the party happened. Once again, she had a missed opportunity. If you do not want me to do anything that's in this diary, if you do not want me to try to be that person, if you do not want me to be all crazy and wild and have this crazy wild sex like you had with Brad, then there's your opportunity. Say, honey, I wrote this in the diary. I wrote it because it was a fantasy. I wrote it because I thought I wanted that life again. But however, I'm happy with my life here with you and our two kids. And our sex life doesn't have to be like what I wrote. I want us to be different and adventurous and have our own sex life. And then don't forget when they walked in the party, Kevin, he said, she was like, I never done anything like this before. And he was like, wonderful. This is going to be our thing together. So he's thinking now, you know what? This is something she never did with Brad. I don't have to think about Brad. This is me and Billy together. And then Billy gets all new on him. Billy wants Billy. Y'all keep talking about Cooper is narcissistic. Billy is a mess too. She's selfish and she flip flops and she changes at the moment. And how can you expect somebody to know what you want when you're constantly changing your mind? Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, I'm gonna give you something where Billy don't take her own advice.
Okay.
When Billy tells Brad, we can't move on until you deal with your father. How did she move on from Brad without dealing with Brad? Without dealing with it. She moved on to Cooper without dealing with Brad.
Well, amen. We agree.
So she tells this man, you want to move on with me? You want a life with me in the future? You got to deal with your father. But then goes right ahead and jumps into the Cooper train without dealing with what happened at the last stop with Brad. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that she thought she was done. I think she thought when she met Cooper that, you know what, this is so great. I had enough of that bad boy life. Cooper treats me so well. This is what I want. And remember, the key factor is, which I can't understand with her, how do you give up 85% for 15? In what world does anyone do that?
Because what look good to you ain't know what's good for you. People,
15%, Kevin? No, if the two people were 50-50, I could see you teeter-tattering on the line. It's 50-50. So now it's a matter of which one do I want more, like better. But she's talking 85-15. You going to leave 85% to go to the 15? You a fool.
oh, she is a fool, but but see, what you got to realize is that she met okay, good sex, good sex
Mm-hmm.
does not fix a bad relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great sex does not fix a bad marriage. A great guy is not going to cover that bad situation with Brad. He's a great guy. He's a great person. He's this, he's that, he's all this and the third. It wasn't enough. She thought it was enough to cover all that mess with Brad. And it's not. It's not. She thought it was enough to cover all that mess with Brad. She thought because Cooper's such a great guy and he's this type of guy, and
You know,
so
wait, listen, wait, Kev. You know I love Here We Go Again. She said Billy needs counseling, which is true, right? Billy regrets being married, which is true. She was never over Brad, which is true.
yeah.
Cooper was a wonderful, convenient, seemingly responsible plan B. And now Kev, Francis, and Malika want to blame Cooper.
No. That part I don't blame Cooper for. But I'm saying is, listen to me. There's
I'm listening.
situations, there's situations where everybody you can do everything right and they still won't stick around because they're really in love with somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when
Mm-hmm.
you look at, like I say, here we go again, needs to really go back and look at episode 1. Okay? And so my thing is that I believe that 85% is Brad. Cooper was the
It is.
15%. She
Yeah.
married the rebound. And so Cooper was her rebound. Cooper was
I don't like the,
everything.
I guess I'm not liking your word rebound. Cooper was her comfort zone.
Cooper
Cooper
was
was
everything Brad wasn't.
right.
Okay? Cooper was everything Brad wasn't. And so what happens is she ends up, doing this, but then because of her lack of sex, and maybe it's an excuse, I don't know, but because her lack of sex with Cooper, she gravitated and started reminiscing about Brad.
She was, but wait one second, Kev. I believe Malika said I believe she just wanted a sex life. Period. I do believe that, right? Because hers was not as distant with her husband. True, because they was slacking and lacking, right? And the party was a bit much for the both of them. Yeah, he took it too far, but again, he took it too far because he's in his emotions about everything that happened in his diary. So I agree, Malika. I guess I have to get my life together. Y'all all saying he was the rebound. I don't know if I feel that way, but yeah, everyone's saying it. I guess I have to come across the line. I'm gonna think about it before episode 8. Yes, yeah, he's her comfort zone. Cooper is definitely her comfort zone. Malika said, I'm not blaming Cooper for the both of them are a hot mess. They both are a hot mess. And yeah, Francis, y'all win because y'all keep saying Cooper is a rebound. And I mean, I guess Cooper, he is the rebound, but I also think it's so messed up that the way she's treated him. I mean, at this point, my thing is, chick, make a decision. So we can let me see what else I have down
But
here
but
about
let me
this. Go
go.
ahead.
Let me go to the other disrespectful Brad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is why another reason that pissed me off about episode 5, about her jumping on that bike. How dare you show up to my house?
Well, you jump into the end, yeah.
But how dare
Yeah.
you show up to my house?
But how about this? How dare you answer his text and then go outside to see him?
Duh.
So again, she still never, you notice she never deleted the text back from when he called her a liar. So
Mm-hmm.
she deletes nothing, Brad. She don't delete him out her mind. She's not deleting him out the diary. She
Out the
does
phone, out the
all
computer.
things Brad. Billy is here for it. All things Brad. So now he's watching you, he's texting you, and he gets to her that easy. Cause he's like, I care about you. I just want to make sure you're okay. I love you. And this chick, she goes running outside the door after him when she said, okay, I'll just leave. But that's what he does, so that he knows how to he knows every strain. He has her like a puppet. He can pull every strain and she will respond hands down. So he texts her, he's watching. Then he gonna slip in to make her feel good. Is Cooper okay? I said, this
Why
man
do you
right
care?
here.
Why do you know
Huh?
you don't care? Why do you care?
Well, that don't even matter. He's doing that because he cares about Billy. And he knows, so he gonna slide that in. He's talking about, is Cooper okay? You okay? I love you. He's a mess. He's a mess. But go ahead,
And
Billy.
so
Billy
that she so the whole thing is
yes. Wait, hold on one second, Kevin. What here we go again is what she's saying is so true. She can end this whole shenanigan. She is doing the utmost disrespect to her husband, but she won't because she loves every minute of the attention she's getting from Brad. Go ahead, Kevin.
and said, okay, yes, she's emotional wreck. And like I said, getting on that bike, the one she needed to ride home. She needed to ride home. You still messed you on that one. But look what happened. How dare you show up to how dare you pull in my how you gonna pull in my yard and my wife here? I don't care
Your
what kind of
husband.
connection it is. You got the balls. See, this is what pissed me off. Francesca, Brad, looks like Francesca had the balls to stay in there. Brad has the balls to pull up in the yard. I'm like, there's a lot of people here who need the hell slapped out of them. Are you serious? Like I said, maybe I dated the wrong people, but it been some furniture moving. It'd have been some furniture moving. One arm and not. I'd have came out with the one arm and bust Brad. Nigga, you in my yard? If you don't carry your monkey ass, come on. Come on.
Yeah,
It-
fantastic biological. She needs to make up her mind. Yeah.
but the bottom line is there's so many messy, bold stuff going on here. I'm just like, you're really, y'all doing this? I can't. It's too much going on. I missed you yesterday, Sassy. You should have been here. But the bottom line is, this whole thing is a mess. Everybody's a mess. The only one who has some type of common sense is Sasha, who's telling her to go for the marriage and trying to help her save her marriage. But you can tell Cooper to leave her alone and Billy, but they won't leave each other alone. So it's headed towards a mess and a disaster.
But here's the thing, Kevin. Billy is the one that's married.
Yes, Brad's
She
not.
has Brad is not. She has the high level responsibility. She said yes to her husband. He could be the rebound or whatever you want to call him. She said yes.
She bought it.
She bought into this story. So now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
need you to play your role for the story you said yes to. Then you didn't have one kid, you had two. And now you still letting this man text you. And then not only are you letting him text you, you feeding into every single word to the fact that you're in your home. You so disrespectful to your husband and your family because your kid could wake up. Lou Hudson is a mess too. I like him, but he's messy. So your kid could wake up. Talking about mommy, who's that? But anyway, I'm just saying he could wake up. He didn't. But you want to run outside to this man. Then he about to hug you, talking about, no, girl, you came outside. Whatever you need to say to him, you could have said on the text. Okay? Or when he said his last text, you could have not responded and just let him go about his business. But no, you want to run outside. You want to have a conversation with him. You want to engage him. And again with the mixed feelings. She gives mixed feelings to her husband and to Brad. Because one minute you calling him, talking about, we got to meet, we got to talk. I need to know how you resolved your issues. His issues are no longer your business. You're married. So now he comes to your house. The first thing you should have said to that text, you outside my door? Are you crazy? My husband will kill you. Get out of here. Goodbye. Leave. And don't ever contact me again. And block his number. But she's doing none of that. You know why? Because she loves every single minute of it. And like her husband said, you're messy. Go ahead. Yes, the disrespect is out of control.
But
Out of control.
she she knows, and here's the deal. I think it puts the kind of, I don't say nail in the coffin, but she knows she wants him. Just like he realized she wants him, she realized he wants her, and she likes that attention. She likes that
She
attention,
loves it. She
and
loves it.
so she like so. But it takes, and this is what gets me. It's like the fool.
Oh, happy birthday to the auntie.
Oh,
Go
happy
ahead.
birthday! Still, she.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell Auntie I said what's up. So, but the thing is, she's like that, and I've seen situations like this where a guy cheats, gets caught, begs for a wifey to come back, and turn around and do the shit again. You sitting there talking about, "Ah, when I saw the kids wasn't there, and I saw that you were, and I realized you were my life, and you and the kids, and it felt like my soul was snatched out my body, right? Then you run outside to this fool because he got your soul too. You got a lot of souls there.
Well, when we have the relationship conversation on Thursday, we're going to get into that because the soul ties. And Brad has definitely got a soul tie on her that she can't
Mm-hmm.
shake. And I'm willing to bet money if she had to shake a soul tie, she could shake it off of Cooper off of her before she could take Brad.
Mm-hmm. But
And she's constantly lying to her husband. That's the other part that's killing him too, because like he said when they went in the backyard, he was like, oh, you sorry about the dinner you had with Dr. Some whatever is the
no, she
doctor
said
name
nothing
is.
happened, and he said, "Oh, nothing happened with Doctor, with
Yeah.
Doctor whoever." Yeah, He said, "Oh yeah," like he knows she's lying,
He knows she's
and
lying.
so you can't. You keep putting yourself in the situation, and this is what I'm thinking. Remember what she said to Brad at the wedding? You did this with the girl so I could break up with you. Remember that? Like you wanted to get
Mm-hmm.
caught. I'm thinking that about her. Does she want Cooper? Do you want Cooper to break up with you so it gives you permission to go to Cooper?
Nope, she does
Because you're
not.
doing the most. You're doing the most at this point. As you can say, you could have deaded this a while ago. You could have deaded this episode 3.
She no. He wants both worlds.
It takes a lot to live in both worlds.
Well, that's what she wanted. She thinks she can handle it. But I'm telling you this is in my mind. Because first of all, you saw how she broke down when Trina did what she did. She broke all the way down when Trina did what she did to Cooper. And she was standing there. So the minute Cooper really, really like goes with somebody else, Billy is gonna fall out in these streets. She act like it's okay for her to run around and do whatever it is she's doing. But the second Cooper really does something, she's gonna fall out.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you a true feeling?
Yes. You call Cooper a
Yes.
punk?
Now you know what it feels like.
You did? You call Cooper a punk?
I didn't call Cooper punk. He got punk.
Oh, Francis said, but Cooper's punk behind. Oh, I see. I'm like, what? Cooper, no, Cooper is hurt. And you see it in his eyes. Cooper is
He's a
hurt.
punk. He is a
No,
punk.
he's not.
You follow a man around, you couldn't confront. You follow a man.
Kevin, listen, let's do this. Real talk. You're
He got
married.
punked. Okay, tell me he didn't get punked at dinner.
He got punked at dinner, but I'm not saying Cooper is a punk. So what I'm saying to you is, Kevin, you're married. You know your wife is chatting, having conversation with somebody else, right? Are you confronting that man?
I'm confronting my woman.
And you won't say nothing to the man?
I'm not going to search him and Google him like he did. I'm not going to look like you said. You might if you saw the name looked on Facebook or something like that. But I'm not going to Google him and something and all this and then go around and take.
Google searching on Facebook and Instagram, same difference.
I'm not getting up. I ain't following no man to no damn gym. Getting them. I don't care if it was $6 to join. I ain't giving them $6 to watch him work out to follow him in the shower.
Okay, let's X all of that. Would you text him, call him, and say, leave my wife alone?
I can understand that.
I'm asking you a question. It's yes or
Yes,
no.
I can understand that. But he followed him. It's a difference. It's a whole different ball game. If you sat there and you said, look, dude, don't call my wife no more. I'm telling you right now, don't call my wife no more. I ain't gonna come into the city to follow you around, to walk behind you. He could have walked up, and I'd have had more respect if he walked up on him in the gym and be like, yo, bruh, don't call my wife no more. No, you follow him into the shower.
He eventually got to that point. He right now, Cooper emotions is getting to him. He's all over the place. But again, his wife put him in this position. He's in this position and he's outside of himself. He's having an out-of-body experience, all because of his messy wife, all because of the one that confessed her love, that said, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to be there for you. All because of her, he's in these streets now, outside of himself, doing things he would have never done, all because his wife backed him against the wall. Yes, Cooper is a man trying to make his marriage work. Amen. Yes, he is. Remember, Billy was still lying to him. Cooper was just suspecting something at that point. Yes, he was. She is lying to him. She got his emotions all over the place. So he's doing the most. But he's not doing the most because that's the normal thing he would do. He doesn't know what else to do at this point because his wife, the one that said I do, the one that laid next to him in the bed, she's lying to him. She's cheating. She's writing in this diary and she's having conversation with an ex, but not just any ex, an ex she's still in love with. Let's hear what you got to say, Cooper.
Cooper's a punk because he went when his wife went to talk. He wouldn't address it from day one. You didn't man up and address the diary from day one.
So many people don't.
And then you sit there and when she wanted to talk about it, you try to do some other stuff. You try to do some other stuff. You try then instead of being a man and your own man, you try to become another man.
You stuck on that, Kevin. It's not that
Yeah,
he's trying to be, it's not
because
that
he's
he's
stuck
trying
on
to be,
stupid. That's why I'm stuck on it.
no.
Both of them
It's
stuck
not
on
that
stupid.
no, it's not that he's trying to become another man. He's trying to become everything that his wife needs him to be. And there is a difference. There's a huge difference. So he's thinking that this is what she needs. She needs me to please her in a certain way. I'm willing to try it because I love my wife. She needs me to be adventurous. I'm willing to try it because I love my wife. You said one of these episodes, I don't know which one. If your man likes basketball, you said, I'm not saying you got to watch 20 basketball games, but you should watch some. That is what Cooper is trying to do right now. He knows she likes adventure. He knows that she has a high sexual appetite. He knows all these things because he read it. He's trying to do some of that for her. But every time he does, and he halfway fails or whatever, she doesn't even give him encouragement for his try. She just, is like, no, that's not it, this and that. She's all over the place. And let me tell you something. You want to know why they can't even fix this thing? Because she's so all over the place. Even if it is something, he does something that really she wants, she won't even recognize it and know it. You want to know why? Because she really only wants this. She'll never say it. She really only wants all of that with Brad.
Yeah,
Period. She
yeah.
wants Brad. So you're
Hmm.
driving Cooper crazy, telling him we can fix it. I still love you. I love you and the kids. Don't go nowhere. And I have been in relationships like that. They driving you crazy, trying to make you into something else. When at the end of the day, what they really just need to tell you is, I don't want you anymore. I want this person over here. Say that so we can be done and you don't drive me crazy. Keep making me think I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to be this. That's what she's doing to Cooper. She's driving him crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. That's all I needed for you to say. I needed you to agree with me and understand.
But Cooper has his faults too. The Cooper fan
I
club.
need you to understand where I'm coming from. Just say I agree with you. That's all. Can I hear it, Kevin? Cooper
Sassy,
is taking that.
all I'm gonna say is I apologize to you yesterday. I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
apologize to Francis. I'm gonna apologize to Francis. I want to do it live, but I'm gonna say, Francis, I apologize because I thought you was over the top with the narcissist. You're on point. When I saw that, you're on point. You're on point. You're on point.
Y'all, you know what? I needed to marinate with y'all. I'm gonna give y'all to tomorrow, episode 8. But I need y'all to marinate with this. First of all, I don't understand why you're saying Cooper is a narcissist. Cooper is a man. He's trying to hold on to his last pieces of dignity. You want to be my wife. First of all, you want to drag me to this dinner and let this man disrespect me. If you drag me there, the minute that man was coming out of pocket, out of his mouth, you should have shut it down. And when you went in that bathroom and he comes and he locks the door, you should have been yelling mercy. Like I would have been saying to my husband, I would have been like, Cooper, Cooper, come get me. Even I don't care what my feelings would have been for Brad. I would have been like, Cooper, because I'd be like, are you crazy, Brad? My husband, this my life, okay? And I got kids with this man. I would have been screaming for mercy. So every chance that Billy had to back her man up, Cooper, she don't do it. She don't do it. She never backs him up. And so what do you want him to feel as a man? And then the most important milestone at his job, he makes partner and she's running the streets behind Brad and she finds out from the neighbors, Kevin, she's wrong.
Oh, I'm not saying she's not. But you seem like Cooper has no faults. That's what drives me crazy.
Cooper is a good guy. Really needs to be true and honest with herself. And all of this can be over. Cooper is a man. He is fighting for his family. Yes, amen. She wants the best of world. Thank you, Malika. Hello. And yes, I don't get it. She does see. Here we go again. She don't get it. How is Cooper a narcissist?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cooper is trying to make Billy forget her former life. Billy ain't never going. That thing is etched in her mind. And I
It's
don't
the
know,
soul.
Francis, if you was on when I said this. I read an article. The reason why he got those tattoos of the two B's is because both of their names start with the letter B. And that's why he said, this is us, the two B's, Billy and Brad. Yo, they got it so bad for each other. It's sickening.
But let me talk about another situation we ain't touched on.
Mm-hmm.
When they came home from the hospital, when she had the miscarriage, and Brad was trying to be out, trying to go to the studio, and I'm like, "Are you serious right now?"
That's
What?
how he deals with things.
Yeah. So what do you think? Was he upset about the baby, or do you think he like I was trying to figure that one out. I really couldn't. I was trying to figure out um was he just upset that she lost the baby and he needed some space, or did he just want to be away from her because he wanted like I really couldn't grasp what they were going with that one.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the thing is with Brad always, he doesn't know how to deal with his emotions, right? And he's used to dealing with them in a negative way or by himself. So music is his thing, right? So he was very emotional. At first, yeah, and there's been people like this. At first they don't want the idea, like, oh my God, you're pregnant. But then they get used to the idea and they're happy. So, I do believe he got into it. He got into it and was ready to be a father. And now she lost the baby and he doesn't even know what to do with himself. So he's like, you know what? I got to go. I'm going to go handle this alone in the studio. So again, their whole relationship, Billy and Brad, they never really communicated either like
Mm-hmm.
that well. They had their issues where they didn't communicate well either. But, they had other connections that was so deep that kept them together. So I didn't think much of it. I didn't think, oh, it's because he really didn't want the baby. I just think he didn't know how to handle his emotion. He was upset. Yeah, he was. He was upset about the baby and he didn't know how to express it. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Cooper is low key smashing Francesca. Oh, I don't know about that.
I think he will be. I
I
think he
think,
will be.
well, you know what though? Because you know, I would never say this in any other relationship, but I have to say this. Billy is pushing him to the edge. And she think like, oh, he's just never gonna break. He's human. She's
But
pushing
see,
him to the edge.
she the edge, she got him hanging on the cliff. She hitting his fingers with the thing. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
she
she is. She
I
is.
actually I'm gonna be honest, like I said, this is how I felt when even though I thought Cooper was wrong for not leaving, when Trina went down on him, I really want if I was a fly on the wall or the person in her ear, I'd have said how I feel. I would have whispered right in her ear and said, how's it feel? Because that's what you've been doing to him this whole time. If I was a fly on that wall, I'd have walked right in her ear and whispered, how's it feel? You see
Well, you
your
know what though?
man,
She always gets emotional about it because she got emotional when she thought he was doing something with Francesca.
but you're emotionally doing something with Brad. You can't get it
Oh,
out your soul.
absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. When it happened, I would have went up to her and said, how's it feel, boo boo? I'd have said, how's it feel? Yep. I hope Cooper get him some. Smash it. Smash it. Knock it out the park. But
Him and
Francesca
Gabriel.
don't want no. But Francesca don't want no just meantime between time. She want the whole. She want the whole package. She accepted. She is. Look, I will accept those kids and everything. I play stepmama and whatever. And don't forget, she's a partner. So that bag gonna be. You know what I mean? His money, her money. How much you got to pay to get at this marriage? I help you out.
She
That's what it
doesn't
is.
deserve Cooper. She doesn't deserve Cooper.
Be honest with you, she don't deserve Brad either. The way she's been acting, I mean, just the way she is right now, Billy needs to be by herself and figure out how to heal. She needs to figure out how to heal. Talk to one of these psychologists, whoever, but she's never healed from Brad because, like I said, and what's curious is when you start to watch the episodes as it's built up from 1 to 7, and you're curious, like, okay, so how did it didn't work out? Why didn't it work out? And then when you see him throwing her stuff, putting it in a trash bag, man, if you don't carry your monkey ass up, that right there will help me get over you. That right there, it's gonna take some serious Christianity, Jesus Christ, to help me forgive you. That's when you
Francis,
really trying to get to heaven. Cause I will
Francis,
hold that grudge for a minute.
Francis, for sure, episode 8 is a heartbreaker. I don't want to get into it today. We're gonna get into tomorrow, but I literally could kill her. I swear to goodness, it's a heartbreaker. It really, really is. She's a mess. She's a whole hot flaming mess. And you know what? I think here we go again. Said it. Francis, Francesca appreciates food, but yeah, but what was I gonna say? Billy doesn't deserve Cooper. He is definitely, if you ever seen a man trying to save his marriage, Cooper gets the award. Point blank, period. I don't every conversation he has with her, the first thing he says is, I love you. I want this marriage. He said, I loved you from the day I met you. I'm like, yo, chick, what else do you want? And I have yet to hear Billy say, I love you too. She just like, I want you. I want the kids. I want this life. I'm trying to think back, and I don't need to watch them again because literally, I think I watch these episodes like time after time. But, because I watch them over before we do the live. But I don't recall Billy saying, I love you to Cooper. But Cooper has expressed it to her over and over again. I love you. I want this marriage. When I bought this house, I was thinking about us. I loved you from the day I saw you.
What did she say when Brad said I love you?
I don't know. Yes, Cooper is real, man. And there ain't no shame in that. No, it's not. Yep, it's not. Do you really think he slept well on the couch? I don't think that Cooper has slept with Francesca yet. Um, But I don't want to get into episode 8, but I think, and they killed me because now we gotta wait for season 2. But
Well, of course, it has to be the
it,
cliffhanger. Everybody got that
yeah,
cliffhanger, but yeah,
but I see it coming because but Billy, like I said, Billy is pushing him. He's on the ledge, and Billy just like plucking, 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 plucking. But here's the thing, what we never talked about? Can you ever really trust a person again once you lose that trust? And see, the problem with Billy is she keep lying over and over again. How can he trust her?
how can she trust Brad?
Well, forget about Brad now. I'm talking about Cooper and his wife, Billy.
Well,
Um,
it takes a lot because you already, I mean, you're hiding files in your computer and renaming it. You're sneaking out and,
Leaving the kids.
leaving the kids with the babysitter. But it's hard to come back when you break that trust. It's hard to come back till you break that trust. When you lie, I always say, what are you lying about? Did you lie about something small? I know they say a lie is a lie, or what are you lying about? Because, and I'm not saying this is the case, but as men, once you feel untrustworthy, you start questioning things. Like them kids or something like that. Hold up. What else you lied about? What other skeletons are in your closet? You know what I mean? And so that's when you get to that. It's hard to trust someone like that. But I also think Francesca's a fool because why you want a broken person? Me personally,
Well, you know what, Kevin? We're going to get into that when we talk about relationships, period.
because
But
I don't want to. I don't.
some people feel they could fix people. But not only that, she's not really seeing him as broken. Francesca is seeing him as he married the wrong chick. Because remember what Francesca said. Francesca said that she said, what's not to like about Cooper? And she said, you're the type of man, and I'm paraphrasing, you're the type of man, when you're on the market, you're not going to be on the market for long. So she's not seeing Cooper as broken. She's seeing Cooper as, you marry Billy, she the
An
wrong
opportunity.
one. She don't know. Well, it's not just about opportunity at that point of how she see him. The way she sees him has nothing to do with opportunity. The way she sees him as, this chick over here, she don't know what she got. You're a gem. You're rare. Everybody loves Cooper. You're everything, and you won't last on the market for long. And to be truthfully honest with you, Cooper is not the type that will be on the market for long.
Maybe not, but I mean, I just because there's a lot going on there. Because he would be dealing with her, she would be dealing with him and his kids, whatever drama they're gonna go through. That's a lot. If you
See,
want
and
to,
yeah, here we go again. Said Francesca knows Cooper is enough. Cooper is enough. Hello. And Malika, we're gonna talk about that key episode 8 tomorrow. So we're trying to stick to episode 7. But yeah, that key is a whole problem. But Francesca, you like I said, everybody in here, all the supporting people are opportunists.
did he
Yes,
accept the key? I can't
I think
remember.
he did. He did. I think he did. I have to look at it again. But all the people in this, all the supporting roles are opportunists. Okay, Devin and Trina, opportunists. Okay, Francesca, opportunist. Brad is just a messy. Brad would be this way regardless, because Brad is Brad. Brad is Brad, but he's messy.
I want to address what something Francis just said.
What did she say?
Did you see him when Trina went down on him? That was what, a minute and a half, 3 minutes. Your boy broke.
But
He
see, but
broke.
you know what though, Kevin?
He broke.
Yeah, Malika said he took the key. You kind of stuck on that, and I get it. But the reason why I go beyond that is because I really think at this point, because he's trying, let me tell you something. If I'm married and my husband is trying, I'm not losing my mind.
I
I'm
got
not
that
losing my
part,
mind
but
because that's not the end all be all. That's not the
no,
end all
but
be
I'm
all.
saying is this. This wasn't before. Just like Billy, and I
So
think
what?
Billy is,
Things happen in relationships. That's why the vows say for better or for worse.
yes.
Because somebody knew way back then when they wrote those vows, God bless that smart person, that a marriage and relationships are a roller coaster ride. And it's like, okay, so you with me on the high, then hang with me on the low. Because the high will come again. But if you're going to bounce on the low, then who are you? What were we really? Did you really love me? Do you really care? So what if I get sick? You out? because people can get sick and they can't have sex. So you out deuces, and then you're gonna start writing about some other rendezvous you had and some other man. You're gonna go do your thing because I'm not well at the moment. Then you know what, you go ahead and bounce. And when I come back up on the upside, don't call me. Don't come for me. Don't write me. Don't send me a text. Don't send me a telegram, a letter, nothing. So the fact that his stuff is not working, he's still emotional. He's still a sexual person. Regardless of how quick he came or not came, he still responded to what Trina did. So you as his wife, if you had patience, if you was kind, if you really loved him, you could get him to the point where you need him to be in the relationship. But you're not going to get him there by constantly punking him, by constantly, writing about some other man in a diary. You're not going to get him there. You said stop it. You said stop and do as I say, not as I do. Yes, Cooper's problem is not a problem in a real marriage. Exactly. In a real marriage, you're gonna stand by your partner.
Yes.
And you're not gonna let nobody else. But see, that's another issue we didn't deal with, Kevin. Is the fact that, you know what, and Francis said this in the beginning, I think episode 1 or 2, you cannot let everybody in your relationship. You need, and a prime example is what's happening now between Trina and Devin, because they know so much of their business, they using it as weapons against them. Okay, so that's why you can't let nobody in your business. What happens in your house, stay in your house. And remember, Billy broke down. She needs help. She broke down in front of all the housewives. So everybody in the street knows their problems, and they shouldn't, because that doesn't help either. So no, what's happening between me and my man is going to stay between me and my man. So then that way, Trina, you wouldn't even think that you need to please my man. You doing it because you know we ain't doing it. They got played. They got used. They was
bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray.
Yes,
But what I'm saying is,
yes.
but you're right. You because the whole deal is, and I remember watching this on it was Steve Harvey was talking about the counseling with him and his wife now. Okay, and he said, the pastor told him to hold hands and form a circle. And he said, you let nobody in this circle. Not the kids, the family members. This is your circle. You let nobody in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people are in their circle. Too many people in
The
their
whole
circle.
town.
Yeah, and so it's so I my thing is this, and I trust me when I tell you, I am just as pissed at Billy as most of y'all. I'm not just as bad as y'all are pissed at Billy, because Billy is doing everything wrong. She's doing the most. Um, I'm to the point right now. I just look at Brad. You should just call it and keep it moving. That's where I'm at right now. You just call it quits and keep it moving, because she just
What
can't.
do you mean?
Because she just can't seem to shake. Not Brad. I mean Cooper. Call it quits and keep it, because she can't seem to shake Brad, and it's destroying their whole. Is this situation? I mean, he's not even having physical sex with her, and it's affecting their marriage. He's not even physically
Oh
having
no,
sex
she's
with
had
her.
sex with Brad every night.
Yeah,
Every
but I'm
time
saying
she writes
physically.
in that diary, she's
Yeah,
having sex with Brad
and it's
over
affecting their
and over
marriage.
again. Well, yeah, it's going to affect your marriage because you're having sex with another man in your mind, in reality. And then remember, don't forget, she had herself a good time when she was watching Brad and Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
She's been having sex with Brad. The last step is to physically do it. But she's been having sex with Brad. And that's why, again, like I said, if that diary was old, I give hands down, I give it to her. But she's writing it in current time, and that's what pisses me off too. And then the little smidget you write about your husband. Oh, he cooked me and my parents dinner. I love him.
Mm.
Yes. Okay, Francis, have a good night. I bet season 2, Billy and Cooper will be in an open marriage for the kids. Oh, I hope that's not what they're going to do in season 2.
I don't
Let
see
me tell
it
you
being an
something.
open marriage. They couldn't even do the swinger party, so I don't see him having an open marriage.
Well, I don't see them having an open marriage because I'm saying Billy wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, because she
And,
gets mad that
and
he's with Francesca.
yeah,
So
and she wouldn't be able to handle him being with Francesca. And Francesca wouldn't allow it.
yeah, she's trying to lock that down.
Francesca Francesca would lock it down. So
And
that's
Brad
pretty
would. I
much
don't think Brad would allow it either. I don't think Brad
well.
would allow it either. Brad wants her
Yeah,
back.
Brad wants to save his marriage, but his wife
No,
unfortunately don't.
Cooper
And
wants
it
to save his
takes two.
marriage.
Cooper wants to save his marriage. Yeah,
Brad
Cooper
wants her
wants to.
back.
Yeah,
They be
Brad wants
put.
it back, but Cooper wants to save the marriage. But it's interesting though how Brad did have a ring for Billy, but he never got to give it to her. So that was interesting too. But Kevin, we're gonna wrap this up. Episode 7, guys. And again, it was Small Town Saturday night. It was a really, really, really good episode. Tomorrow we will be closing it out with episode 8, which was just like Francis said, it was heartbreaking. It ripped me to shreds. I literally, all of these episodes, like Malika said, I was yelling at the TV. But this episode right here, coming up tomorrow, episode 8, I could have jumped through the TV and choked her. Like literally choked her and said, like, yo, are you stupid? Are you this stupid?
I
Like you
could have
can't
choked the
be.
episode 5. I could have choked the episode 5. I could have choked the episode 6. I could have choked the episode. I could have choked in the second episode. I could have been choked up. I could have been
Yeah, well,
choked
this is
up.
crazy. But listen, all of you, Francis, Malika, here we go again. Sassy, thanks for hanging out with us.
And
Join
come
us
back tomorrow.
tomorrow. Come back tomorrow
Come
when
back
we
tomorrow.
close.
Get your tea. Get your drink ready, and be here tomorrow. Tell a friend. Tell a coworker. Log
Tell
on.
some log on and join us. So yes, log on and join us. We're gonna close this out with episode 8, and it's a great series. So tell everybody. I mean, I think it's worth the watch. But have a good night, everyone. All right, Kev. See ya.
See y'all later.
Hey, Kevin, Cooper.
You know what? Whatever.